You are walking along a gravel road. Ahead of you, you see a bird. As you approach, the bird suddenly develops a broken wing. It struggles in front of you, this bird, as if it can barely walk, let alone fly. You feel sorry for this bird. You want to reach out and pick it up. So you try to catch it, and it almost lets you reach out and pick it up. But each time you do, it manages to stay just one step ahead of you. As you pursue it, the bird leads you on, away from its secret nest where its offspring wait. Suddenly, the bird flies away, calling out with a loud cry that sounds like a jeer. But it isn't, really. It's just Phil Hall saying, "Here you are now. We'd better figure out where we are." Please welcome Phil Hall and his Killdeer.
I, I've said too much. These are essay poems. The intention is never prose. Before my daughter was born, I made up this whole legend about her. She would lead a band of women resistance fighters. Dressed in furs, they would roar across the tundra on flame-throwing snowmobiles. Hoda, that was her pre-birth name. Hoda would swoop down from the far north, sabotage Yankee strongholds, force the damn Americans out of Canada. When she was 4 months old, we moved to Greece and lived on Crete at first near Agios Nikolaos. In the 1940s, villagers had been massacred by the occupying Nazis. The cathedral had been partially burned, its Orthodox icons darkened by char. I was there, writing on an old door propped between rocks under a fig tree, because I admired those people who had fought so intractably for their island back in ways my own country never would. On the beach, hidden among reeds, I discovered a German machine gun bunker, gunless, of crude cement, built to guard the harbor and still there in 1989. I would crawl in like a young German and watch the ancient water through the gun slot. In February, even while the African sun glared, a downpour and double rainbows along the far ridge of the village. Mornings, while we bathed the baby in the sink in warm rainwater from a tank on the roof, our landlady's knock at the hot shuttered window. An omelet for us, a French fry omelet. Brett. But she thought the baby's name was bread. So she called her the Greek word for bread, somi. And we thought that our landlady's name, Praxia, meant peace, but it means action. Lady Brett, Ashley, in Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, that's who we were thinking of, a composite with a snoot full of problems all her own. We forgot about Brett Hull, the hockey player, son of Bobby. For years, Brett gets teased for having a boy's name, for being the young sports star. When she's grown, she legally adds an E to her first name, making it obviously a young woman's name. By one letter, the absurdity of stick handling in Pamplona vanishes. 20 years. The vigilante snowmobiles have grown fainter. On bad days, I struggle to convince myself that by merely living as best we could, we did anything to improve anything. But then I remember how, when Brett's mom was pregnant with her and working as a counselor at the Morgentaler Clinic in Toronto, those rabid fascists with their fetus posters would scream atrocities at her as she rode by, beamingly healthy to term, standing heavily to paddle her purple bicycle through them. I played table tennis with Morgentaler. That would be a fine title for a kid's book. Playing table tennis with Morgentaler. He was very good. Also, there was a Sri Lankan woman on strike at a mushroom farm in Surrey, BC in the early 80s. By the picket line, as I held the flashlight in the dark trailer, she wrote on my chapati with a marker the word for union in Urdu, and I ate it. I used to say, Retsina is what the gods drink when they can afford it. That meat freezer cold pine tang, numbing all doubt. The next right thing that makes no sense. I'd take the bus up the cliff from the beach in the morning while Jane and the baby were asleep. I'd wait in the shade of the square in Zagora for the bakery to open. The next right thing that makes no sense at the time. I'd stumble down through kiwi terraces into the blinding blue of the Aegean. The days bred a long hot scar against me, praying to a swallow of light. Sloppiness as libation. Sometimes Brett still gets called Somi.